Newcastle United have had a decent window so far, getting some crucial signings in, but they need to do more if they hope to improve upon last season. So here are 4 more transfers Newcastle should make to finish top half next season. So I wanted to do a quick overview of Newcastle's finalized transfers. One of the 3 transfers Newcastle already made was bringing in Sven Botman for £33.3 million. This was incredibly smart transfer business by the new regime, as I think he could become one of the best center backs in the league over time, as his potential and talent already is really intriguing, and I think he will fit Howe's system very well. The second of the 3 transfers already made was Matt Targett for £15.75 million. This move makes sense as on loan from Villa last year, he was one of Howe's most consistent performers and really showed that he would be a crucial piece to this rebuild. So bringing him in permanently was a smart move to do and relatively cheap, especially if he can be the starter for the next 4+ years. The third of the 3 transfers already made was Nick Pope for £10.35 million. This was my favorite move of the 3 already finished, as Pope at his best can be a top 5 keeper in the league, especially with his shot-stopping ability. He is cheap and can be the Newcastle keeper for 5 years or even longer, so this was an exceptional signing. Here are the rest of the needs they have this transfer window. The first need is a right winger, the second need is a defensive midfielder, the third need is a striker, and the fourth need is central midfield depth. Here are the rest of the transfers they should make this summer. To fill their right winger need, Newcastle should bring in Moussa Diaby, the 23-year-old French right winger from Bayer Leverkusen. This one is very obvious, as he has been linked with Newcastle for a while now, and he seems interested in joining Howe's project. And I have to agree, as he would be a great fit on that right side. Diaby is a very skilled winger, as he is just technically gifted, as his dribbling is out of this world. He also this season finally put together some goals, as in the past his assist numbers would be higher, but this year he was finishing lots of his chances. Many people may think that he may take time to transition into the Premier League, but I actually disagree. I believe he is ready, and he will flourish in his first season, as many players with the same skill set have succeeded in this league, including Luis Diaz, Rafinha, and Mo Salah, as these inside forwards do have success in the Premier League. He'll be quite expensive, costing around £50 million to bring in, and I like this move a lot for Newcastle. To fill their defensive midfielder need, Newcastle should bring in Florian Grillistch, the 26-year-old Austrian defensive midfielder from Hoffenheim. Newcastle's main defensive midfielder last season under Howe was Jonjo Shelvey, and in my opinion they clearly need an upgrade here. Guimaraes could play that role behind Willock and Joe Linton, but that would take their best midfielder out of his best position, so go get a DM, and Grillitsch would fit in nicely. Last season he played more of this center-back libero role, but he can definitely play the DM role. He is a defensively solid player that is also quite a good passer as well. He would fit in nicely into Howe's system as he is a hard worker that has the traits of being a great DM, but will he actually become one is a question. He is a risky addition in terms of the odds of him actually succeeding, but he is free, so if he fails, they can still gain a profit from him. There has been some interest on Newcastle's side and Grillish's side as well, but no contact yet. So Newcastle should make that contact and bring him in. To fill their striker need, Newcastle should bring in Timo Werner, the 26-year-old German striker from Chelsea. Newcastle have 2 strikers that are Premier League proven, but Wood is inconsistent and Wilson is injury prone. But when Wilson is healthy, he needs to get minutes. Werner being brought in would be a smart move in my opinion, as he is a versatile player and could play all across the front 3 at a decently high level. I get he struggles with finishing his chances, which is the main goal of a striker, but this has only come up since joining Chelsea. In his last 2 seasons at Leipzig before joining Chelsea, he outperformed his expected goals, but his past 2 seasons, he has massively underperformed it. I think it is more of a confidence issue, rather than a talent issue, so Newcastle should take a flyer on him, and the worst thing he becomes is a really pacey and technical winger who cannot score. However, the best possible thing that could come out of this is he plays like he did at Leipzig, which would massively help this club. It is another risky transfer, but I think it is worth it. And with his struggles, I think £30 million would be enough to get him from Chelsea this summer. To fill their central midfield depth need, Newcastle should bring in Konrad Laimer, the 25-year-old Austrian central midfielder from Leipzig. Just a precaution, I say midfield depth very lightly, as Laimer is definitely talented enough to start in this midfield, But for right now, Joelinton and Guimaraes have those positions locked. Howe played a high-press system last year, and Laimer would fit in nicely as he's extremely tenacious and hard-working, being in the top 1% in pressures last year. To me, he would be a more technically gifted Joelinton that would compete right away for that left central midfield role. Laimer is not going to be making extremely pinpoint long balls, but he will be a very tidy player that does not lose possession often, allowing for Guimaraes to be the more creative and ambitious passer. This would be a great move, and I only see him costing £20 million due to contract issues at Leipzig, and they should jump on this move quickly as multiple clubs will and should want Laimer. So if they bring in these 4 players, it would add £100 million to the transfer spend, giving Newcastle a total of around £160 million, which they can definitely afford right now. These 4 additions would give Newcastle a starting 11 of Pope in goal, Trippier, Byrne, Botman, and Target in defense, Grillistch, Joelinton, and Guimaraes in midfield, and St. Maximin, Diaby, and Werner in attack. This would be a very solid starting 11 that would definitely finish in the top half at the least, and probably end up in a European qualification spot.